beside me are Kathy's two daughters, Wendy and Kirsty, with their families, and 7 of our 12 grandchildren. Together with my mother, my brother and sister, and their families, and over 100 people from around the world that are with us in spirit, and they come from the United Kingdom, Canada, mainland USA, Spain, Germany, Dubai, Malaysia and New Zealand, and some of them are watching us from the webcams up here. They all join us in spirit as we say thank you for Kathy. Kathy fell in love with Hawaii 24 years ago, and it was not just Hawaii, it was their people. We came here on a honeymoon, and that was it. And when we came back the second time, a few years later, we started to think seriously about a future here. But it wasn't just for ourselves. Kathy so wanted her children and her grandchildren to experience what we had experienced, and maybe have the opportunity of one day coming here. About 10 years ago, Kathy and I were both very keen going out on the outrigger canoes. I think we kept the lower beach services alive at one time. We used to go out 2 or 3 times a day, and she was sitting out there one day towards the end of a trip, and she said, "I'd like to take a surfing lesson." And for someone like Kathy, who was afraid of the ocean, couldn't swim, wanting to take a surfing lesson amazed me. Not only that, for someone who could splash around in the water, I didn't fancy it at all. So as it was the end of our trip, I said, let's wait till next year, in the hope that next year it'd be forgotten. Well, I'm sure from all of you who knew Kathy didn't forget. And when we came back the following year, we had a surfing lesson. And that first wave she was up on, she was hooked, absolutely hooked. And I have to admit, I shared the experience, but I'm not sure I wanted to learn to surf. I just loved the experience. Under good advice from our friend Robert, Kathy was told, I think you ought to learn to swim before you surf. So we went back to England and she spent a year learning to swim. And she learned to swim, like a professional. And she came back and Robert sort of watched her swim and said, well, will you swim for half an hour solid in the ocean? No, go back home. When you can swim for 30 minutes solid in the ocean, then you can learn to surf. So back she goes to England, and day after day she's in that pool until she could do 30 minutes solid. And after that, at least 5 days a week, back in England, she would swim for 30 days solid. She wouldn't touch the floor, touch the sides of the pool, she just swam. Back we came. Barney gave her some wonderful surf lessons. And the one thing about Kathy, she didn't just want to learn to surf and surf well. She wanted to understand the culture, she wanted to respect the ocean, and she wanted to learn how to respect the other surfers out there in the ocean. That was our Kathy, determined, but always with a respect for others. One common thread has come out of the messages of sympathy. It is the wonderful memories of time spent with Kathy and being lucky to have known such a beautiful lady. Those words have been said time and time again. And I was even luckier. I had 24 years of wonderful memories and have been so very lucky to have known her and her children. So will you please join me by giving a big aloha to our very special lady, our Kathy, Mum, Nana and friend. Aloha! And on that note, I would ask those that can to join with me in taking her ashes to the ocean, to be at one with her spirit, which is already out there.